Good morning, everyone. My name is Ken Ricasso de la Cruz, a student from Far Eastern University at the Institution of Education. Hi there. Good morning. My name is Ken Ricasso de la Cruz, but you all can call me Mr. de la Cruz. So for this morning, before we go on to our discussion, there's a few reminders that I want to tell you. So first, I want your full attention for this discussion. Second, I want your heart and mind for this discussion to be able for us to understand. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our topic for this discussion is from the Willingham thesis entitled, Why Don't Students Like Learning at School? Okay, everyone, so to be able to understand the article even more so, we have to divide the article into some important questions that will help us to understand and to have the crucial understanding of what is the article about. So before it, ask yourselves, why don't students like learning at school?
Sir, maybe because they are distracted, or maybe because they don't like going to school, or maybe because of the weather.
Exactly. There is a lot of reason or our own reason why students like learning at school. So those ideas will contribute on our discussion for today. As we go through the article, we learn a good deal about the human condition, about the learning, so as the motivation work, and also our own minds in the areas such as teacher and student motivation. So for our first question, why teachers have hard time providing a conductive learning environment for the student? So first, the lack of response of the student to the activity prepared by the teacher, the apathy, the lack of effort that they insert to it. The apathy becomes a serious professional problem issue dito that resulted to teachers burnout, stress, lack of job satisfactions, and many things. So if you are a teacher and if you are doing your discussion and the students are not paying attention to you, or you're doing an activity and they are not exerting to that activity, their maximum effort for that, you will feel that you were left out somehow. Why learning is effortful for students? Why students find it difficult and hard to learning? So we have to consider the witness and desirable practices. So liking in school is aligned with social and emotional factors such as personality and social factor. So if you have like numerous friends and have a supporting parents to it, it will add up to you as you go through the school. Here we discussed that school is an important social factor. So now the question is, do students need or ought to associate more of themselves to other people in order to enjoy school? Wait, let us ask ourselves first when we were in high school. Is it really necessary? So we have different kinds of student as a learner. But is it said in the article that the attitude of peer exert a strong impact upon individual? The more we see ourselves, comfortable, the more we enjoy school. So it is really necessary that we must see these things because these things will contribute to us as we learn in school. So earlier, we discussed that students find it hard to learn. Now, the question is, why students have lack of effort? Let us ask ourselves, why there is a lack of effort in the things that we do? Because thinking is effortful. First, student lack of effort, not because they are lazy. We should erase that mindset that if students do not exert effort to what he or she is doing, he or she is lazy. More so, effort is a factor that has to be consistent with one personal motivation and commitment goal and tied up to their self-efficacy. You see, we are resource-limited creatures. And thinking also involves highly level of creativity. We have to see it for us to change something. So for now, we are going to discuss the problem and mental availability. So what is it? Why do we have to talk about it? So what infers people to target out of their need information on the right time? So the problem with mental availability, by which the mind don't have that enough availability to have a appropriate information on hand and sufficient cognitive resource to deal with the problem at hand. So meaning to say, it is like out of sight, out of mind. You soon forget things that are no longer visible. So to be able to avoid this, we have to make our mind attentive and sharp. So we have to, read more, research, exercise our brain. Not literally go to a jogging just to exercise our brain, but more so, give it the time and the sense to build up and have the foundation for it. Okay, so as we go through this video, I know you find yourself bored. Oh, there's an explanation for that because there is a selective attention for people. We get sometimes, our attention span doesn't cope with the things that we want. Another thing is the knowledge gap. Seek out or pay attention to things we already know to increase our personal knowledge base. So, knowledge is like other form of wealth. It is often differently aligned to distribute through not a social system, meaning discrepancy between what is known and what to be known. Okay. Did I already make you all lost? Okay, let's go back to the main topic. So, why don't students like learning at school? So, according to Peterson, there is this problem that teachers don't have a full understanding of a certain cognitive principle and therefore don't teach well. But then again, let's go back to the first part. Why teacher doesn't exert effort to things? Because student lack effort to as well. So, there is the conflict there of what is happening in our educational system. So now we are going to ask ourselves, how can a teacher make student like school? Like you ask yourself, what does your teacher do for you to like school? So there's this one reason that I really love so much. So teacher must or should encourage student to treat failure as part of their learning process. So they have to create a environment or a classroom atmosphere in which failure, while not desirable, is neither embarrassing or negative. We have to make things easier for them. Not actually easier that they would exert something that is not effortful, then they would pass to it. But more so, we have to make them realize that as they fail, they learn because it is part of their learning process. That's it, everyone. That concludes everything regarding our topic, which is the chapter 1 of the Willingham thesis. And the title of the article is Why Don't Students Like Learning at School? So, to be able to know if you learned something about this discussion, guys, here's the thrilling part. I want you all to write a 500-word essay that concludes what you learned in this lesson. I want you guys to have an important insight about it, or more so fool your heart into it, because it also reflects you. This topic reflects you as a student and also for us as a future teacher. So I hope you enjoy our lesson and discussion for today. Hope to see you soon. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you learn from it, gain from it, and reflect from it. Once again, my name is Kenry Castro de la Cruz. Have a good day.